So this is the second time in a few days that people have asked me about, like, you know, making videos and feeling like not as confident or wanting to be perfectionist and things like that. There are things you can do to help yourself to feel a little bit more comfortable or confident. Within CapCut, there's a lot of different options, right? So, bumpity beep 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 beep. Let's go back to the beginning. Here, we'll take this one. This is one I did last night. What I'm gonna do is I will click on it because that's my face right there, and you can go to the retouch and hit the face, and you can smooth, you can change your skin tone. If you, obviously I can't take away my dark circles because I don't have that, but you can like whiten your teeth, you can reshape, like if you're like, oh, I want to be slimmer. I've actually never done that. Yeah, I don't want to be slimmer. Ooh. Do they already apply a slimmer? Maybe I should make it fatter. I've never used these ones, but they have them. And I guess you could change the size of your... Oh my goodness, the distance. Oh my goodness, I didn't know you could do that. Okay. What? What the heck? Yeah, man, you could do all types of shitty shit. That's fucking crazy. I've never played with this much of it. The only thing I've ever done is like the face, the smoothing. I've smoothed it out. Like, it helps you to smooth it out. You can also add makeup. They have ones down here, but like if you're gonna add makeup, I would recommend not adding it to like the fullest extent, like maybe just a little bit. And oh, what's this? I don't know what this does, but yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can do. I guess you could play with your eyebrows, your lips. What? That's so fucking crazy. Yeah, so again, the only things I do is a little bit of smoothing, and occasionally I'll do makeup if I'm not wearing any makeup and I'm not feeling like my best. But some of them are really like intense. Like, I'm not one of those people that wants to put freckles on me. I'm not one of those people that wants to be like, you know, crazy. I literally just will do like the most basic thing and turn it like almost all the way down. But you can do that. Oh, and when you do things like that, you make sure that you would want to put it across like all of them. So when I hit that, it's like, okay, apply to all, confirm. That way that it's a consistent across them, so that it's like, oh, she's wearing makeup in this one but not in this one, or like, you know, whatever. You'll be able to see like a slight difference in it if you don't do it. So that's one way you can do that. Over here on TikTok, if you want to make a new video, there are all of these in here. And they have trending, they have like so many different ones. Some are like, they make you like, oh, it's kind of dirty. They make all different types of ones, but again, if I have some saved, sometimes I'll do like it's not that big of a difference. Or I'll do, that one, I don't know why I saved that one, but like you can add eyelashes if you don't have eyelashes. Or you could be a cartoon person, right? If you want to be a cartoon person, that's totally okay. And then what you can do over here is you can record up to 10 minutes long of a video. Did you know that? So when you record your 10-minute long video, you're gonna record it, right? And then afterwards, right here, this side thing, these buttons right here, after you're done recording the 10 minutes, you can download it into your phone. And then you can upload that any way you like. You can upload it onto the other places, or you can take it over to CapCut and edit out all of your I don't knows, or when you stumble over words. I do a lot of that. Like, my first videos, I never edited anything. My later videos, depends on how I am in it or what I'm talking about, but I will take out all of those parts that are just like stumbles or or breaks that just don't make sense. So yeah, for those of you who want to feel a little bit less self-conscious, they also have these filters too. These are just like the basic filters that will change like the color. Obviously it's not going to work that well with that filter. Okay, so these filters, you could turn it all the way up and change like the warmth. Does it not work? And maybe it doesn't work on the filters. Alright. Yeah, so you can do just these. Why is that one turned all the way up, but the other ones aren't? It just changes the color of like what you're doing. And as you can see, I'm not looking my best right now. I slept all day. Fucking tired. Don't look at me. So this would be a good time to... I use that one with the eyes. And then record. Record. Hit that. Save. Record. And there it is. So go over to CapCut, make a new project, and then you can even go further and be like, you know what, we can try it even though we don't have that. It'll let you see it. It'll just be like you have to pay. Record. And it doesn't even make a difference. I would always test those things before you waste your money on them, but I'm just going to take that off because we're not using that. There we go. Right now I'm recording in the TikTok with one of those like slight filters, and I did tell somebody that I would try to make a video where I'm going to explain the difference in when we're recording, because I've been recording for like a decade now, and I used to not edit at all. And you can do that. You can make a video where you don't edit at all and put it out there, or you can start editing like slight bits, and most of the places now have like editors built in. Like if you make a reel or a video on TikTok or Instagram, you can add words onto the screen right in the platform itself. You can add filters and things like that. You can go onto Instagram and add a filter and record, but you will get more confident over time. You know, I try to do just like my natural self, because when I do go live on YouTube, like they don't have all those like added filters. If you go live on TikTok, you can add a filter. And if you're going to do something like readings, or you're going to do something like playing sound tools, you don't even have to be on camera. But if you're going to be talking on camera, like the videos that I make like this, or the videos I make where I'm doing like the conspiracy things, or I'm just teaching something like the Reiki one, there's different ways to approach it. You can script out a whole script for videos, and you can have like ChatGPT help you with that to give you a script, or you can write your own script so that you have something to go off of, so that you're not like stumbling and searching for your words through the whole thing. Sometimes what I'll do is just make myself like an overview of what's to be discussed, so that I stay on topic and I don't like forget what I was trying to tell people. Again, you'll get more confident, you'll get more comfortable. It's so much easier these days to do things. Back when I first started, it was like we didn't have these apps in our phone to do all these edits and add all these like extra special stuff. And you could tell the difference in my first videos from like my later videos. And there's still times right now that I don't do any edits at all. When I'm doing like my tarot readings and stuff, most of the time I put them out there as they are, unless I am like with the Patreon, I'll put a video on there, the full version of it, but I'll also like clip parts out of it to show previews of it so that other people know that it exists, and they may want to watch the rest of it. They'll go sign up to the Patreon. But other than that, if it's just like a short little thing for Instagram, like a 90-second video or 30-second video, I'm not editing all of that. It's just throwing it in there. But if you're trying to teach stuff, if you're trying to talk about something, if you have something to say, making yourself a little script or a little overview to keep you on track with what you're trying to talk about can make a difference in the quality of it. And again, you'll get used to it. There's so many options. There's so many things we can do to add to our video. We can change the sizes of our video. So like we can have something over here while I'm talking right here. There could be a thing playing, and that also increases retention or the view of your video, because it keeps people's eyes like busy. Like it's those things where it's like people are cleaning a rug, or they're cleaning something that's really dirty, and they're watching the process of that while they're listening to what you're talking about. That's a good thing if it's like just like a story. If you're trying to talk about like conspiracy theories and things like that, you can have things over here that are backing up what you're talking about. Like, yeah, so yeah, they've been doing like the weather modification since the 40s. And while you're talking about that, have different clips that are popping up to show that. Sometimes What I've noticed too is because I am a spiritual person and I have a lot of spiritual things happening all the time, signs and synchronicities, a lot of things just work out for me. It's like it just happens. My clear knowing helps me a lot in those ways, but I don't think anybody is out there that like can't tap into that. Somebody asked me the other day about making a looping video, and I was like, oh, you just got to find the right thing to put onto the screen so that it's not so obvious that it's looping, or find the right music that has the right beat so that it's not so obvious that it's looping. And I was like, let me show you. And I made her like a very quick boopity boop video, which I'll add here to show those of you out there who are interested in that to see what I mean. And it's all in CapCut. It's like there's little things in there that they have that you can utilize to make a looping video. So if it's like I'm going to be making a meditation or a sound healing, and I want it to be very long and publish a very long video onto YouTube, but I don't want it to look weird, which again, that was that perfectionist thing. If you're making a very long 2-hour long video that's just like a music thing, it's most likely people are going to be laying down with their eyes closed or cleaning or doing something else. So you don't have to worry about being perfect. Just start getting it out there, start putting it out there. And when you feel like you want to present information, do it in the way that feels best for you. Like if you feel awkward with a script, don't do that. They also have apps too where you can have your script like right up there so that you're reading it and you're looking at the camera while you're reading it. Sometimes I've never really done a script. I tried a few times, even just in like doing guided meditations in an event. I tried having a whole script, and I ended up putting the script down and just going with what spirit was guiding me to say. Again, that came just naturally. Some people might need the script. So do what works best for you, and you will get better at it over time, and you will get more confident over time. And it's just a learning curve. It's just something that you got to keep applying yourself to. Just like anything, when you show up at your first day as a barista, right? You don't know how to make all the drinks. You don't know how the computer system works. You don't know where everything is stored in the building. But over time, you will be the person that knows all those answers. You will be starting to make the perfect coffee. You will start to just like be able to hit the buttons without looking at them. You'll know where to send people to get the right stuff out of the storage closet. It's the same in every area of life. It can be a little intimidating to put yourself on camera and put yourself out there, but trust and know that the right people will be brought to it. And if people come in and they have something to say or they're rude to you, that's them. Hey, that's them having some fucking problems. They probably got their own issues and they're jealous. Like I see so many people who will go on to like huge content creators that are making like millions of dollars and bash them. You need a real job. Blah, 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 blah. That's called jealousy. That's called I'm a jealous, insecure asshole who's never going to do anything like this with myself, and I'm never going to have anything close to what you have, so I'm going to hate on you for it. And there's people out there who will bash people's looks. I see this, there's people who get bashed because they're beautiful. And they're like jealous that they're beautiful and that people are looking at them, and they'll even admit it. I saw one recently where someone was like, why don't you go look in the fucking mirror, because you're not one to talk about someone's looks. And they were like, you are right, I am very like, self-conscious, and that doesn't give you an excuse to go tear someone else down. Because even if that person is beautiful, they're probably struggling anyhow. Nobody out here is usually like, oh yeah, everything about me is 100% perfect. Even if they act that way, or you may perceive them to be that way, a lot of people do not feel that way, and you'll see it impact them. I've seen people who started off online and they end up changing like their nose and their lips and their fillers and all of that shit because of what people say to them, and because of them already being insecure about it, and they end up not looking right. They end up changing who they're supposed to be. And that's why, again, I'm very like, I don't think people should be changing all that stuff. I've never done anything to myself other than getting tattoos, and that's it. Or piercings, tattoos and piercings. I thought about getting a breast thing, but I learned that lesson real quick because I started being stalked by someone, and I was like, I don't want him looking at me. And I stopped recording videos, and I pulled myself way back, and I went into my little hole, and there was other things going on, and I wanted to hide away. And I'm starting to rebuild my confidence and come back out here again. And any way that you need to do that is okay. And anybody who tries to tear you down for doing it is because they will never do it. They have no strength inside of them. They're so afraid to put themselves out there, so they're going to tear down those who do. Don't let that stop you. And don't let the little bullshit stop you. You will get better at doing it over time. Okay? So if you want to know more about this, or if you want me to like show you like the script making or the different apps that they have for like a teleprompter or anything like that, let me know and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to go to CapCut and I'm going to do a new project. And they also, when you're in CapCut, they do have other things. Like I've never really used it over here, templates, right? So they do have templates and things. Like you may be able to find a template that kind of helps with it. You know, I would explore. I always just go off of like how you know, Spirit usually helps me, okay? But in this case, I'm going to go to the library and I'm going to look for a background of something like that looks kind of just easy. I feel like this might be something that if I click on this and then I copy it, right? Usually the copy is like pretty far down in here for some reason. Yeah, duplicate, okay? Let's see how that looks as we go. Ba-ba-de-beep, beep, 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 beep. Yeah, it's kind of like, but let's see, when we click here, what can we do to make it look like a little bit less? We could like vertical blur, see how that goes? If it's a 3-hour long thing, they're most likely going to be playing it and doing something else, like laying down with their eyes closed or cleaning their house or whatever. So you don't have to worry about that. But, you know, there are some out there within the library that I feel like would be a little bit less obvious. You know, like one that might move but doesn't move. Like this one right here. This one right here would be a good one, okay? So, boop, duplicate, okay? Now, let's get rid of this. Why did it do that? Okay, where is it? Where is it? Here we go. All right. Boop, up, beep. See? See? It didn't do it. See? It didn't do it. Now, what I would do is delete this, right? And so we know that this, when it gets here, is going to look very much the same. It's going to keep going with that same, see? No weirdness, right? So what I would do is I would go down here and I would duplicate it a couple of times, so because that way it makes your life a little bit easier. So you could duplicate that a couple times. Now it's a 2-minute one. Export that. Boppity beep 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 beep. Usually, because like these ones take a lot less time to fucking save, and now you're gonna have a 2-minute one that you could pop in there and duplicate the 2-minute one a bunch more times. Or you could even make it the 5-minute, because it's gonna duplicating 5 to 2 hours is gonna take a lot less of hitting that duplicate. Duplicating the 2-minute to 2 hours is gonna take a lot less time. All right. So now what we do is we go back in here, and we can go right here, and we can go into our videos. We can take that, okay? So again, see, very nice. Now, basically, it's just about the duplicate, and finding the right one that makes sense to duplicate. But we're already at 24 minutes here, okay? Also, actually, Bridget, you know what you could do is you could keep doing this. Add, also do overlays. But we're adding that video. All right, we're gonna keep, and now let's see, how long can we go? How long? So now we're at 40 minutes, man. At 40 minutes of this, and I'm actually gonna use this for my dragon thing, I think, because I'm gonna be making a dragon activation with the sound tools and all of that for the Patreon. But yeah, look, now we're at 52. So just do that, okay? And then if whatever you're adding in here. And you know, if you do this, if you squeeze this together, see how like you can pull it out or squeeze it together. If you squeeze it together, you can get to the beginning very quickly, okay? It doesn't take as long to scan through it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like when I'm doing this and I hit over here, does it need to be spread out more for that? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. When I'm watching it back, oh, now it's too far apart. When I'm watching it back and I hit here, it usually will take me like way forward on it for some reason. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if it's a glitch, because it's like I'll go to like pause to edit like right there, but it like takes me 5 minutes forward. And I'm like, no, I wanted to pause right there. And it kind of pisses me off sometimes, but sometimes it's helpful when I'm trying to get further ahead or further back in the video. Yeah, it's not working at the moment, but either way, yeah, that's how we do that. So then down here for the audio, they have a bunch of like music down here. So if you know you want to add a background music to help with whatever you're creating, because sometimes I'm so mad that they got rid of the fucking thing for free too, because they used to have the audio thing that would reduce the noise and it made the audio so much better, but now you gotta fucking pay for that, and there's nobody else out there that has it for free. So I'm pissed, because now it's like I need to use a microphone or turn off all my fans or add background music. The background music usually helps a lot to get rid of that shit show. But as you can see, there's like a 9-minute one, there's a 6-minute one, so you can do that same thing again. This one's pretty nice, you know, so I could add that. This one I have used before. And if you find one that you like, save it so that it's like saved to your favorites so that you don't lose it forever. But you can scan through and see, like, there's short ones and long ones. And again, it's the same type of thing as we were talking about, is like, is this gonna work as a loop? You might need to listen to it through the whole thing to see, does it work as a loop? This one might work as a loop because it sounds pretty much consistent throughout the whole thing. It's like a rain background. Yeah, so what you could do, take that and duplicate that. Before you duplicate it like that, make sure it's at the volume you want, because then if not, you're gonna have to go through every single one of them to change that volume. Because if, say, you're gonna put that there and then you're gonna record your own like audio, or you're gonna record your own sound in the background. So now what we could do is go here and we could be like, all right, let me add my own thing here. I'm going to be playing the sound bowl and I'm going to be doing a guided meditation. So we want to make sure our voice is louder than the rain and the other shit. So welcome to this guided meditation. Boppity beepity boopity boppity beep. Boop. Right? So then when we click on here, we're going to turn that up. Louder than the rain and the other shit. So, and then we're going to click on that. And we might want to turn that down. Louder than the rain and the other shit. So, welcome to louder than the rain and the other shit. So, welcome to this guided meditation. Boppity beepity boopity boppity beep. Right? And then, because we've had those other ones that I duplicated, we're going to want to be like, okay, we got to get rid of those because these ones are going to be at a different volume. We don't want them that high. We want them at the right volume so that they're not overshadowing what the other things are that we're overlaying within it. Does that make sense? Hopefully. I think it makes sense for you. You want it to sound nice, basically. So if you add background music, just make sure before you duplicate it. Louder than the rain and the other shit. Louder than the rain. See what I mean? So, see the difference of that? And the other shit. Hold on. You see the difference of that, right? Like if you put this all the way up at the 100, you cannot hear me at 100. This is at 100 and you can't hear me. Right? We don't want that. So we want to turn that down. Louder than the rain, and louder than the rain and the other shit. Louder than the rain and the louder than the rain and the other shit. And when you are in here, you can also add effects. So some of them are free. I like the echo and the rain and the other shit. So, welcome to the I like to turn it down and the other shit. So, it sounds cool. To this guided meditation. Sounds cool when it's turned down a little bit, like, because otherwise people have a hard time understanding it. Like when I first did the echo one, Jenny hated it. Other people like it, but I find that like it's best when it's not like Bridget, because it makes it almost intolerable to hear. But louder than the rain and the other shit. So, welcome to this guided meditation. So again, when you listen to this, we want to turn that down. Louder than the rain and the other shit. So, right? We want to turn it down. And again, the rain one, I wouldn't necessarily use that one because it is kind of like it almost sounds like it's static. But find the one that you like. You know, find the one that sounds nice. Find the one that works for you. See, and they change it every time. So I like this. And that's really a good volume already. It's got a little bit of, yeah, it's got like that Syrian sound to it. So then you could record something somewhere else and then add that here. You know, like you could have a video that you've already recorded, add it here, and then add these as overlays to hide what it was so that the looping, right? Or you can add it and like hide it. So let me show you. Like if I wanted to add an overlay, oops, where's the overlay? Right? Say that I wanted to have a video where I'm already, like my voice is already recorded on it. Let's see. We'll just add this one, right? What I could do is mess with the volume. I just made a little post for my Patreon people to let them know. And then hide it, get rid of it. So like the volume is there, but people can't see it, you know?
I just made a little post for my Patreon people to let them know that if they're in the $5.55 here.
So there's a lot of ways you can do things. Totally up to you. But if you do it in this way, you can, you know, pause and then record again, but listen to the beginnings and ending of it, because sometimes there is a little bit of a click at the beginning or a little bit of a click at the end when you're like, okay, I need to pause. There might be a click. Okay, I need to, yeah, see how like there's a little bit of a weirdness there? Let me turn it all the way up. A little bit of a click at the beginning, a little bit of a click at the beginning or a little bit of a click at the end when you're like, okay, I need to, you hear that little so what you could do is edit that little part off. Like, okay, I need to... So also keep that in mind. When you're ready to pause, give it a few seconds before you pause it, so that it's not so close to what you just said. So you could be like, in this guided meditation, we're going to help you to release your worries. And then pause. That way you see how that's straight like that? You're not going to have an issue trying to cut that off, that little sound. Much better, see? Nice transition-y. There's lots of ways to do it, and you'll get better at it once you are doing it and thinking about it and exploring with it, but hopefully that helps, and it's almost 5:55. Forgot to say about that type of stuff, like with the music. Say you pick a music and the end of it and the start of it, if you duplicate it, there is a little bit of a discrepancy. What you can do is fade it out and fade it in for certain ones. So like, let's pretend, or let's just add one that may be like that, right? So let's go to the Sound FX and say, actually, I'm going to click for healing. I'm going to search healing. And let's add that, right? So when we get to the end of it, squeeze it together, get to the end of it a little bit faster. Here we go. Let's see how the end sounds. So see this button here? Fade it out.
In this guided meditation,
and you can also fade it in.
In this guided meditation, we're going to help you.
So over here, when we get to the end, see how it faded out? Now what I'm going to do is duplicate that with the faded beginning and end. Obviously that ukulele thing kind of sucks, but you see the potential for it, right? It can help you to eliminate that hard shift. This helps some people to understand, and again, all of the things that I showed you, they're pretty much across the board. Like the video that I just recorded and added here, we can usually edit all of the things in the same ways. Like if you want to fade things in out, you want to add like a different effect to your voice. There's so many things that you can do. Just go through here and look at all of the different options. You know, I always turn the volume all the way up so that my videos are very clear to people. You want to make sure you have it like steady across all of them. If there's different clips that you've added into your video to edit, you can duplicate things. You can also mask stuff if you only want to show a part of your screen. There's endless freaking things in here that may or may not be what you need for what you're doing, but there's a lot that you can take advantage of. You know, these different sound effects are in here for the video that I just recorded. It doesn't have to be one that you add on, and there's a lot for the way that it looks with the filters. You can add, you know, just change the coloring of it, boopity bop, and you can also change here like the brightness, the contrast, the saturation. There's endless amounts of different ways to work with it. And I forgot to mention earlier, they do have body effects too. I've never really used those, so I don't know what the ones look like. I don't know. You know, I try to keep it as basic authentically close to me and authentic as me as possible, because people are going to see me. You know, people are going to see me. So hopefully this helps everybody. And if you have any other questions, let me know. In Namaste.